Hi there, I'm Mitch Ferraro from Welcome Home Real Estate Group. Today I'm here with my wife and business partner, Nina Ferraro. She's with the Ferraro Group. And the Ferraro Group is a investment business that actually rehabs homes and sells them. So today we're going to talk to you a little bit about how you can basically get your home sell ready to actually get it on the market and sell. So Nina, tell us a little bit about how you would actually get a home ready to actually get sold.
Sure. When we renovate homes, our goal is to make sure that someone coming into the home or seeing it online can envision themselves living there. You want them to think about their life, their family, themselves in that home and comfortable and make sure it's appealing. There's three things that you want to think about when you're getting a home ready to sell. The first is you need to personally get the home ready from the outside in. The second is you want people online or on social media to find the home appealing enough to go out and see it. And then the third is when somebody does come to see it, how do you win them over right there in person? So let's first talk about how you get your home ready. So again, I had mentioned this starts from the outside in. So some things that you want to do are make sure that your home has a lot of curb appeal. So that might be making sure that your landscaping is clean, bright, you've got lots of color going on. You may have a great front door painted a fresh, bright color. And the other thing is making sure that your lawn is immaculate. So remember, when someone comes to see your house, that's the first thing that they're seeing. So make sure that the outside is just as great as what they're going to see on the inside. When it comes to the inside, there's a lot of free things that somebody can do to make sure that their home looks amazing. The first would be just clean it up. Get rid of the clutter. Remember, the goal is that someone can envision themselves living there, not your life. So you want to make sure that the clutter is cleaned up. You want to make sure that your home is probably as neutral as possible. So for example, if you have children and their rooms are painted in neon colors, that might be hard for someone to envision themselves living in rooms that have neon paint. So those would be things that you could tone down as well. Another thing that you could do in a home to really get it ready to sell, especially if your home might be smaller or it doesn't have an ideal flow, is you should probably talk to your realtor about staging the home. When you have great staging, again, it's another opportunity for someone to think about their furniture, how they could live in the house, and usually it's really awesome, modern look that will attract people to the home.
So with the staging, that could actually be something that if someone has actually moved out of their home already, maybe they want to put some furniture or something inside the home that helps a buyer come in and actually visualize what is inside the house.
That's exactly right. Usually when a home is vacant, it's hard for people that are visual learners to understand and think about the flow of a home. We also know in our renovation business that when we have a home staged, it will usually sell as fast as it's possible to sell, and it will sell at the highest price point. So for us to put in another $1,000 to $2,000 to stage a home, it's always worth it. The next thing that we always focus on is making sure that if someone learns about our house on social media or digitally, that they have great pictures to look at. This will make or break how many people find your property interesting enough to come out and see. So we always have professional photos taken. There are photographers out there that this is all that they do. This is what they specialize in, is real estate photos. And so I think that's one of the most important things to do when getting your home ready to sell.
Yeah, I would think that when you go in and you're actually looking to buy a home, the first place that you go is on the internet, right? And you're looking at the pictures, and if the pictures aren't high quality, what's going to make you go to that property?
Right, and I know when we first started in the renovation business, our first few homes, we took pictures with our iPhones. And as we got better and learned more, we found that professional photos got people there every single time. Our homes sold really fast, and they sold for as high as we could possibly sell for. The third thing is, how do you make sure that when someone comes to your home to see it, that they want to buy it? So this is really simple, and it's free. The first is, again, make sure that all that clutter and mess is removed. It's organized in closets. Again, the idea is someone wants to come to your house but envision themselves in it. Another thing that I would recommend is actually taking pictures down. Again, you're seeing someone else's life in that home and not your own.
So like a family photo or something like that, not that it needs to stay down, but maybe you want to remove that so that when someone walks into it, they're thinking of themselves rather than another family.
Right, just for showings. The other thing is, if you have pets or maybe you're a smoker in your home, you definitely want to neutralize any odors before people come over. So again, remove the clutter, make sure your home is clean, neutralize odors. The last thing that I find really important when we are showing homes is we have every single light turned on. There is something about a bright and light home that makes people feel good, and I think that really helps, again, someone feel like this could be theirs.
Yeah, I think when you have natural light and brightness inside the home, it actually can have better features, show the better features inside the home rather than everything being turned off. So that's a really good point to make sure all the lights are on.
Well, and think about too, a lot of people come to see homes that they're interested in after work. So that's usually in the evening, it's dark. You don't want someone to walk into your home that you're trying to sell and feel that it's dark or dim. You want it to feel bright and light and really good.
So Nina, let's talk about a little bit more about what those things will cost that you talked about with actually getting your home ready to sell.
Right, so as a homeowner, if you really want to try and be as budget conscious as possible, you could probably get your home ready depending on what you need to do to make it as open and inviting as possible for certainly under $1,000, but I would say minimally it could be less than $500. So the first thing that you want to think about is a good professional cleaning. I would say that could run you anywhere from $100 to $200. The second thing would be those professional photos. Now sometimes you could ask your realtor to pay for those photos for you, but those would typically run, depending on the size of your home, again, $100 to $200. Some of the things that we mentioned about getting the outside and inside ready, for example, like painting a door or freshening up your landscaping or having neutral paint colors within your rooms, within your home. If you do that yourself, certainly you could pay less than a few $100s and your time to get that ready. Now, the biggest ticket item that I mentioned was staging. So staging does cost a little bit more. Again, depending on the size of your house, that could be $1,000 to $2,000, maybe even a little bit more. But you can be very selective about which rooms you stage and which are the most important to feature. So you certainly could keep it under $2,000. But again, if your home is very small or the flow isn't ideal or it's vacant and people may not be able to really imagine themselves there, this is a really good thing to invest in.
Sure. So even again with the staging, that's something if maybe your house is not furnished already, and even if it's not, you can be selective. You can maybe do the living room and one bedroom, or the living room and the dining room, and stuff like that, where it's at least it's not the entire house, it could just be minimal to save on costs.
Yeah, when we stage a home, we always do the most used rooms. So for example, we would do the kitchen, the dining room, certainly at least one bathroom on the main floor. We do maybe one bedroom, but we don't need to do all the bedrooms. We don't need to do every single bathroom. So depending on your budget, you can, pick and choose how far you want to take it.
When you're going ahead and saying, okay, I'm ready to sell, tell us a little bit more about how you actually price the home to make sure, one, it sells fast, and two, you're getting what amount you want.
Sure. This is probably one of the hardest things for a homeowner to do. Of course, they love their home and you want it to certainly sell at the highest price possible, but you also need to make sure that you're pricing it realistically based on comparables in the area. How we look at homes to understand what they could sell for is multifold. First thing we look at is square footage. So we look at what other properties within a half mile of this home have sold in the last 6 months and are plus or minus 20% of your square footage. So if you have a 1,000 square foot home, we're not comparing it in terms of price to a 2,000 square foot home. We're comparing it to an 800 to 1,200 square foot home. The next thing that we do is we also find comparables within that square footage range that have similar number of bedrooms, bathrooms are in the same school district, because as we know, homes that cross school districts could be priced very differently. And then we look for similar finishes amongst those properties that we've just pulled up. Which ones look the most similar to ours on the inside or the outside, and then we adjust price from there. So for example, you may find 10 homes in your area that meet that criteria that I just listed that are selling for $150,000, but you want to sell your home for $200,000. If you would list it at $200,000, the problem that will likely come into play is your home will sit and become stale on the market, and you're going to get what you feel are lowball offers, but they're most likely very realistic offers. So it's really important to find homes that are the most comparable to your home in terms of square footage, beds, baths, location, school district, and then the finishes on the inside and outside to get a fair price.
Yeah, one thing that I'm thinking too is you also are probably looking at days on market as well. So if a property is selling very quickly and you're probably thinking that's probably priced pretty market correct, that it's being sold at a right price.
Right.
If it's sitting on the market for a little while, maybe it's not exactly priced correctly. So it really then I guess too is up to the seller on do they want to sell very quickly, or do they want to sell, do they have some time that they can actually sit on the property. But all those are very, very good points of making sure that you're selling the property the correct way. If you ever have any questions about real estate, please feel free to reach out to me. If you have any questions on selling real estate, buying, investing, I would love to be a part of your real estate experience. I look forward to hearing from you, and we'll talk to you soon.